Want to read Mighty Mascots?
This episode of Capes and Lunatics is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. Get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
This is Luca Burke, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
This is comics illustrator Ron Friends, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
There's a thin line between heroism and madness.
Here the line fades to nothing at all. This is a world of capes and lunatics.
And nothing is off limits.
All right, Friday night. All my kids are here. Even Uncle Charlie. All right, let's get ready to go back to the future, to go boldly go where no podcaster has gone before. Capes and Lunatics. Lilith. 141 starts right now. Welcome back to the Capes and Lunatics. I am Phil. As I said, go to Full House. Let's go down. Starting. Hey, look who's here, Mr. Ohio.
Yes.
Captain Ohio. That would be Tyler.
What's up, everybody?
And the mad professor from New Jersey, Madison.
Charlie, the Professor.
And
I'm in my Captain America shirt.
all the beards and the hairs on the bottom. And the Queen of Florida herself.
Hey, y'all. It's a little Hellfire.
Hey, Lilith.
Riding those gators in the battle. The sword in one hand and a drink in the other. All right. So, okay. I'm pretty sure you didn't watch it, Charlie, but Lilith, Tyler didn't watch this week's episode of Arrow, which was the backdoor pilot of Green Arrow and the Canaries.
I did. And
I did too.
my first thought was, okay, one, how are they going to stretch this out as a series? Two, it wants to be Birds of Prey, but it's not. Three, I feel like they've exhausted the Green Arrow character, even though it's now Mia. But then I thought, it's kind of weird because I guess, like I was talking with you, Phil, like Spectre Oliver threw Dinah into the future.
Yeah, that's.
Then,
I mean, she basically says she wakes up in the future the day after Oliver's funeral, which we're going to see this coming.
And then I didn't.
The Spectre wiped her. Nobody on Earth knows who I am. Well, I wonder who did that.
I did like at first, like how everybody was kind of like a reboot, so it wasn't the same style of the characters we saw before. But then with their handy dandy memory Martian finger prick thing, like Mia gets all her memories back, and then at the end, spoilers, JJ gets his back. And I kind of like the idea of JJ being good and having that inverse of the female being the hero and like the boyfriend man being kind of in the dark at the moment, And then they kind of screwed that up. And then I thought they kind of rushed that and should have just let JJ be good for a while. And I said to Phil, I was like, who's the villain going to be? My guess was Lady Shiva.
Yeah, they said she. So
because they said she, and I'm like, well, I mean, I don't want it to be a retread of like Nyssa or Talia or something, because then we're really not doing anything more than just retreading Arrow. And she was the first one I thought of that's new.
Unless it's not so Baby Sarah anymore.
Right. And that was something I said. It's like, all the kids are here, but the adult version of, Baby Sarah.
Yeah.
And that could be later down in the series, but it was okay. I'm not, like I've said before, it's the one property DC show that I'll watch the official pilot, but I'm not really invested in it. It has nothing to do with female superheroes. Please don't even start that. I just feel like those characters have been used for so long that there's nothing new coming to it.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems like they want to have their cake and eat it too, because it's set in 2040, but they have present day Dinah and Laurel there.
Right. I mean, they mentioned Helena, but then we didn't even get an old Helena. She wasn't even in the episode.
I know we get the Bert Ellies. I was like, no, Helena?
Yeah, we do get the ant. Did anybody recognize the ant? Lilith, did you recognize the old ant?
No, who was it?
The sheriff from Smallville? Sheriff Adams?
Oh, that was Sheriff Jody. Oh, she's had some work done.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, no offense. That's okay.
But yeah, I was like, okay. But I also feel bad because this is an episode of the final season. And I guess, Stephen Amell didn't want to do 10 episodes for the final season of Arrow. So it just to me, it kind of feels like a filler for we already have a short season of a show we've invested 8 years of our life into.
I mean, they kind of do backdoor pilots because remember in season 2 we got an Arrow episode with Barry Allen.
Right. But I mean, I feel like that.
Well, that wasn't really a backdoor pilot. That was getting greenlit whether he showed up as Arrow or not.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, how many supernatural backdoor pilots did we get? They both
4. No,
4?
technically 4, because the Roadhouse was supposed to actually try to be something.
True.
Then they wanted to spin off the Angels too, something about the Angels, and Eric Kirby was like, "No,
see, I just
leave." And Gamble didn't want to do anything with it. That's why Castiel was brought back at the end of season 5 when he was supposed to die. Yeah,
that I didn't realize the Angels, but I remember the Roadhouse. Now that you say that, but then they did that Chicago one that they were going to try to spin off, and then of course the Wayward Sisters,
Bloodlines.
Yeah, Bloodlines.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
And Wayward Sisters, yep.
I mean, even the backdoors pilot lead-in for Legends at least felt like it still belonged in the other shows it was in.
Well, they did part of the crossover. The crossover that year.
It was the crossover of year. What was that?
I will say that Legends, as much as I love Legends, is definitely the most forced part of the Arrowverse. But I love it. But it is the most forced.
Hey, Lilith.
And this would be like even more forced than Legends.
Lilith.
I just.
But Katie Cassidy carried that whole damn episode, and I love Katie, but that's not, it's supposed to be about Mia.
Right. Like I said, I just feel like if they would have made Mia, I don't know, something different. I mean, I don't have anything like if she had picked up and been like the Green Arrow in a few episodes of Arrow and like ended the series or something, I don't know. Like I don't have a problem with her. It's just I don't really see where they're going to take this series, and I'm going to feel like it's something new instead of just being Green Arrow now. Like it's just like, oh, Arrow's ending, but we still have Green Arrow.
Well, it's obviously Green Arrow. It's a new Green Arrow. I mean, it's going to be Green Arrow.
It would be a change of pace though, because they have Canaries now. Apparently, they care about Canaries now. So there's something new for you.
Now, have they said who the big bad is? Have they said who the big bad is? Okay. So here's my prediction for who the big bad is.
So that's all they said.
What?
It's going to be a woman.
Well, I think there's lots of she's. It could be. I think it's going to be Flash's daughter. She's all evil now.
Wow.
Something like
she's from the far.
They have to bring her. They have to bring her back first. She kind of got wiped from the timeline.
Jessica Parker Kennedy's busy.
If they did something where
she got wiped from the timeline, but now
that never stops Eobard.
Yeah,
but here
that just means that the good one got wiped from the timeline. That just opens up a space for the antimatter Jesse Quick, or whatever the heck her name was.
I'm just gonna say, if they did something cool where the villain is like another child from somebody else, that could be cool. But it's just, I don't know. I just don't feel like it's gonna breathe fresh life. And I'll say this, okay, even this, Phil, I will say this with all of you here, okay. I have my hesitations for the Superman series just because we're in season 5 of Supergirl that's treaded on so much Superman territory. Like, there might be a new angle, but still, like, what will make the Superman show really pop from being the Supergirl show? When we've done this many years already. So it's like, what will this Green Arrow show do? Like I said, I feel like it wants to be like the Birds of Prey, but they can't do that.
Well,
yeah, we're getting that great movie coming up.
But here's the thing. I mean, Green Arrow is just Batman because they couldn't do Batman. So saying, "Oh, it's the Birds of Prey," but they couldn't do Birds of Prey. Well, that's a fine Green Arrow tradition. So, for what it's worth, heck, I'm sure we're going to get,
But I mean, we have
some lesser known.
We have Batwoman now.
Girl.
We have Batwoman now. I mean, if they expanded the roster, but I don't know, like if they had done like a version of Spoiler, Stephanie Brown, or even I still don't know why they haven't done the Question. This universe.
Well, maybe they will.
They can't use it now, apparently.
Well,
Montoya
is going to be in that movie, but
and I'm still telling you this.
Here's the thing.
I gotta say this, then I gotta go take care of my children real quick. So I'll be right back.
Okay.
I'm still holding out for my character that should have been brought in to Arrow in season 4 for Zatanna. Where is my Zatanna in this Arrowverse? Okay. Now,
stuck in production hell for a movie supposedly that's going to happen in 2038.
Never. All right, I'll be right back. I'm still listening.
Yes.
Okay. But the thing is, it's like at this point, first off, we're in the far-flung future. So anything they want to put into this universe, it is the 2099 universe, meaning that they can pretty much put any version or any character they want to in this. They can do. Oh, you know who they could put in this? Terry McGinnis.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
No,
they could have Nightwing.
They get very protective of the Batman stuff. I know that.
Oh,
yeah.
Are they?
If this is going to show up anywhere, it would be Batwoman.
They could.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, or we'll get old lady Batwoman. That might. Oh,
well,
Batwoman.
Okay, let me put it to you. It's a moot point. It's a moot point because the show. The ratings weren't that good, and the reviews are very mixed. And it's like, you're going to make a spinoff of a show that's been on for 8 seasons. No, it was not that good. Not to be considered for a spinoff.
I know they didn't announce that they they picked it up. I thought the ratings were good though, or they weren't. I thought they were a little bit now. Okay.
Like you're trying to spin off an 8-year-old series like that. Now it's just not the time. This is like just not the time.
Well,
you mean just like we shouldn't spin off
Kelsey Grammer, Lola.
We shouldn't spin
off.
Tell
that to Kelsey Grammer
and do our own the Dean Winchester solo series after 15 years of Supernatural.
No, we're getting Texas Walker Ranger, which is secretly still set in like a weird supernatural universe. I'm telling you, freaking Ackles is gonna show up in season 3. Then we're gonna get freaking Jim Beavers. Jim Beavers probably gonna be his boss for all we know. For those of you that don't know, Bobby Singer. Yeah. So like I already see that.
I think probably their biggest mistake in this is that they did set it in the far-flung future.
That's my biggest disconnect with it. Is it's set in the year 2040?
I mean, you can still have a connection because we do have the legends.
Yeah.
But it's like unless we're going to do another Crisis and everyone gets their world smashed together, it doesn't make it in. Crisis in Infinite Time next season.
Well, I mean, I think the big thing is Stephen
0 hours.
I mean, Stephen Amell wanted to leave. They didn't want Arrow to end, so they came up with the whole daughter thing. I was like, why didn't you just give Sarah White Canary either her own show or make her the Green Arrow?
Well, exactly. I mean, that would have been the logical thing. Is just make someone else the Green Arrow.
Yeah, someone who's the daughter.
Because I mean, Sarah's basically supposed to be the focal point of Legends. That's supposed to be like her show, but no, I mean, if Stephen Amell didn't want to do it,
poor Brandon.
Well, I mean, he's leaving.
Sorry,
he's leaving.
That's the prerequisite because that was supposed to be his show. That was supposed to be the freaking Adam.
Hey, hit the pause. Lil, did you watch Legends this week?
I did.
Oh my god.
Finally,
I was like, oh crap!
They read their Twitter comments. Finally,
I was like, oh crap! She's still here. Then she went off to be
your bed.
My bed?
Yeah.
I'm so far behind in these shows.
He's like, who's Mona?
It doesn't matter.
Isn't Mona a werewolf?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought it was.
I have a question I want to discuss with my fine fellow friends here before I have to go and be super daddy and get these kids to bed. So did Lilith, Phil, and then Charlie? I know you didn't see it, but I liked your input. Did you guys watch Supergirl?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so this is what I'm trying to unpack. Brainy says the multiverse is dead, and that he pulls up his tablets talking about some sort of way you can detect the multiverse energy or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
and he shows the multiverse is dead.
Well,
But at the end of the Crisis, we saw a new multiverse being born. My thought is either
they can't detect the multiverse. It's easy. They can't detect the multiverse because that's going to be their whole
But it's there.
why they're not interacting with Doom Patrol or Titan or the DCEU or even Stargirl until they, make a decision on that.
See, I think that's a good way of saying it is they can't detect it, but I feel like they should eventually. I wonder if it'll come into play where they find out there is a new multiverse, but they just, like you said, they can't get to it or something because in a way, it's almost like saying that everything else DC doesn't exist anymore but the CW stuff. Batman 60,
but no one's going to be able to hop universes. Everyone's going to be in their own universe.
Because in a way, it's like saying,
can I?
Yeah, go ahead, Charlie.
Yeah. Well, so if you want an easy explanation for this, which is sort of the Franklin Richards explanation. If I recall correctly,
Tommy, you want to lay down with your phone?
The universe was saved.
I'll go get your phone.
By Lex Luthor, rewriting the Book of Destiny or yada yada yada, and it would make sense for him to make it look like he saved everyone. Well, at the same time, he locked everyone away so that no more allies can be found. So that when he makes his power move, there's nowhere to find other heroes who can be an unknown quantity.
Or you could even say Oliver did it to protect everyone, so you don't get another anti-monitor to destroy universe after universe either.
That's all good.
Yeah, I mean that's I'm more into the diabolical answer rather than
because I feel
and honestly, because that doesn't protect them. It just it maybe if nothing else, it means that they can't save the next universe if the rest of the multiverse has to deal with it. So I'm inclined to think that there has to be a malevolent reason why they can't.
Have you never watched Arrow? Oliver is a douchebag.
Well,
he doesn't he makes bad choices. He's like Tony Stark. He is the captain of bad life decisions in the Arrowverse.
Yeah, true. Look,
Why? Just because Crisis Part 4 was like Avengers Endgame, with them floating in space at the beginning of Episode 4, and then him facing down the big bad at the end of the fourth part, and
I mean that wasn't.
You have failed this multiverse was his I Am Iron Man.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm just curious because I'm wondering if it'll play out later because I almost wish, and a part of me wishes, at the end, we hadn't got the new multiverse scene because then it makes you question more because, I mean, they're not going to really do much.
No, because they have to say, okay, all Doom Patrol, Titans are still there, the DCEU is still there.
It was fun, but everybody had to go home.
Well, I mean,
it would have been cool if they just would have been only one other Earth came out of it. There was only one other.
Okay.
And the other Earth was the DC universe Earth. You have the CW and then the DC universe. And that's
okay. Look, there's actually a very logical explanation for this. And this is actually what DC did the last time. Or maybe not the last time, but the last time I read a DC comic book on the subject.
So
which is when they had
John
the
Byrne
52
writing?
universes.
Ambush bug.
Yes. No, but you will recall. Oh, there's only 52. There can only be 52 alternate realities.
Well, that's what they tried originally.
Let me finish my thought.
Until Crisis, that's what it was.
But the idea was that even when they tried to do that, that wasn't the case.
Yeah.
And of course, the universes continue to fracture and thing. And remember, since the legends are still out there, here's my actual assessment. Exactly. My actual assessment is that what we're going to be seeing is that there is this idea that there is only one universe now. Everything's blocked off. But the legends are going to be not so much. We just ran into Brendan Fraser 5 minutes ago. And you will get that kind of bleed. Trust me, Brendan Fraser's down for it. Man loves the robot costume. And that's what we're going to be moving towards in this either multi-season arc or most likely one season arc of rediscovering the multiverse and realizing that yes, Luthor did something. And then we're going to have some interesting questions about, because obviously if everyone's worlds have been matched, then a lot of duplicates are going to be there. Sort of like what we saw after Franklin slammed the new universe and the regular universe together. Everyone's like, oh, wait, that's not my wife. I've never been married. What are you talking about? You know? All this kind of things of these duplicates from other universes coming together and now having to have new interactions. There you go. Tyler figured it out. He turned off his camera.
No, he's just staring very intently.
Okay.
I just wondered, like, what you guys'
Hi,
thoughts
Tyler.
were, because I mean, personally, I like the idea of like there being just one Earth, and then later discovering other Earths.
I'm not 100%.
Yeah, I think
certain
that's
on
just their way of saying the Arrowverse isn't going to play with anyone else for a while. Even Stargirl, who's on Earth too, with Justice Society.
that. Yeah.
So
You know, we'll have to see how they play it out. But if nothing else, we already know there's one other alternate universe.
Oh yeah.
Because that's the future universe of the Canaries.
Well,
You know?
I know.
You know?
I know you're going to say possible future, but I mean, right now they're playing it as that is the future of the
Yeah.
universe.
Except we have the time travel.
All right.
So,
yeah, but it feels
you
like
know,
they time traveled and did stuff on Legends. It really felt like anything the Legends didn't affect the other shows compared to like when Barry time traveled and screwed up, it affected the other shows.
yeah.
So it just felt like
Well,
the
you know,
Legends.
we're going to have to. Well, although, again, that's just because we were following that universe. You know? We're following the universe that Barry winds up in. You know, it's. I don't know. I mean, there's lots of possibilities, but given that we know that there is a multiverse out there, because they did show us the multiverse at the end,
I like your
that
idea.
obviously there has to still be a multiverse.
Like-
and that we're saying there's not one suggests that there is foul play involved.
I like that.
That's all I'm saying.
I like it. I got to peace out. I got to try to get the kids to bed. They're fighting me.
All right.
Okay.
I miss you guys. I try to join in when I can. So
We miss you too, Tyler.
enjoy. I'll hear the rest of the discussion later. Lilith, always good to see your empty spot. To hear your voice.
Have a good one, buddy.
All right. Bye, guys.
I miss your soulless void, Lilith.
Uh,
All right. So
Hey, wait. Does that make me Janet, Charlie? Am I Janet?
you are the Janet of our group because you're all knowing and can make stuff.
Lilith, were you thinking about me today? The number 69 kept popping up at work. Your favorite number.
That's so funny.
Lilith, did you see the last episode? Not the last episode, but the last 3 episodes. We're in the penultimate episode. Take a drink of The Good Place.
Yeah.
Not yet. As for tomorrow, in between Deadpool and Spider-Cast.
Okay, it's very good. And
I read the synopsis, which was very hilarious. It just
It's
says some
very good. I
people
really
talk.
Yeah. I need to see where they go next, and actually, I got a big prediction that I'm not going to. Basically, I don't think it's actually ending the way they said it was ending. I think there's going to be something after this. It's not going to be called The Good Place,
The bad.
but I think there's going to be something next. And I'll let you watch the show and figure out what happens. But I think that there's something else out there.
Okay, we're almost a half hour in already.
Okay.
I know you said you were going to read spoilers, synopsis for Charlie. Lilith, did you watch the first episode of Picard?
I did.
Okay, and
It's not what I was expecting. I'm assuming it gets better.
well, I mean, yeah, I mean, it says it's gonna be 10 episodes. I mean, a lot. I mean, you had to do a lot of setup. It's been what since?
Yeah, it's a lot of setup. But did we really need a lot of setup? Like the people that are watching Picard?
Well,
Honestly.
Well, they were filling in the blanks what happened the last almost 20 years because that last movie was in 2002.
Yes. Yeah. I haven't seen it. No, I did not get the chance to read the spoilers yet. Well, I'll fake it.
Well, how long ago?
I mean, are you excited about it, or are you just like dragging your feet, or
what for Picard? Myself?
yeah?
It's the paywall.
Yeah, it's behind the paywall, so I'll watch it when it comes to Netflix or Tubi or Hulu, wherever. It'll show up somewhere once it's run its course over there.
But yeah, so you don't mind spoilers, Charlie?
No, why would I care about spoilers?
Lilith, did they say how long ago? Well, Picard retired from Starfleet because, first, the Romulans are scattered all over the galaxy because their sun went supernova, which
it happened.
Yeah.
I mean, did that happen in that J.J. Abrams movie?
No,
That's what I was thinking, and I was just like, I don't want that to be a thing.
Yeah,
we pretend like that doesn't exist.
Yeah, but here in the Picard series, they're saying it happened in Picard's time because he was helping with they were like, the Federation was helping them.
I was like, did you confuse him with Cisco? Did you confuse him with Captain Cisco?
Yeah.
That's what's going on. Are we getting an amalgamation universe?
So yes,
Maybe.
So the Federation's helping the Romulans evacuate, but then Mars gets attacked and Mars is still on fire to this day because a rogue band of synthetics attacked and destroyed Mars. So now all synthetic people are basically outlawed.
So like Lore and his cronies.
They haven't mentioned Lore, and they showed B4. He's in a drawer disassembled.
Okay.
So
Poor B4.
Yeah.
So is Data in this or no?
He's not in it. I mean, in this first,
not yet.
they only showed him in Picard's having dreams and stuff, but they did give a theory of how Data can come back.
Well,
I mean,
B4 is in a drawer.
Well, they said he's kind of like a broken inferior mod. I mean, a scientist says, spoilers, that I guess if you take even the smallest part of his neural net can be used to grow it back or whatever. But do we drop the big spoiler on him, Lilith?
Sure.
Yeah, let's do it.
Did you see the young lady? A young lady shows up for, her boyfriend gets killed and she has all these martial arts moves she didn't know she had knowledge of. Then she gets a flash Picard, and so she goes to France to get Picard's help.
And she's is she a synthetic or is she a Sung?
Oh, she's a synthetic. She is one of the daughters of Data.
Oh, Data made another daughter when no one was looking.
Well, I guess the scientist said, they get the ones who look really human get created in pairs. So twins. Well, this one gets destroyed, but then there's another one, and Picard, once Picard figures that out, he's like, I gotta go get the other one.
The implication of this is that Data's creating a bunch of synthetic humanoids.
He's not alive. What was it? They haven't explained it yet, but I would assume he create.
I mean, we know that, and for what it's worth, we know that Data's father actually did create a actual perfect android of his wife.
Yes.
We know that happened.
Yes.
So he actually perfected everything for his wife, downloaded her, and that was perfect.
Yes.
But, still couldn't work out the emotion chip for another, 20 episodes for Data. Because you had to reverse engineer it into, it was like putting a PS4 disc into an Atari 2600. It's not going to work.
I mean, it was just on the other day. I mean, he had one chip. He meant it for Data because in that episode he thought Lore was dead. So I mean, Lore steals the chip and then soon dies 5 minutes later.
No, yeah, I remember that. But what I'm saying is, obviously, he actually cracked the code.
Yeah.
And it was actually just that it took him a long time to figure out how to take that knowledge and put it into Data. Oh, duh! Data's mom is creating all the synthetics. Because they left her alive at the end of that, wandering the earth like Qui-Gon Jinn.
Can I just be real with y'all about Picard? Yeah. I was just hoping it was going to be him and Q in a French chateau winery and the adventures that they get up to. That's the Picard series I really wanted. I'm just going to be honest.
Well, I actually thought it was going to be him telling his old stories at the bar. You know?
Picard!
Welcome to Chateau Picard.
Hellfire.
Let me pour your wine, my friend. And let me tell you how I made it so. If you know what I mean.
Oh, Charlie, guess what he named his dog?
Number 1?
Yep.
No. We named the dog Number 1.
Poor Riker. I can't get no damn respect.
Well,
Finally, maybe somebody named Number 1 will do what I say.
To be fair, that's from the original pilot. That was what they called.
I know.
I'm just saying it has precedence in the series.
But yeah, Q needs to show up. Q needs to show up.
Yeah, well, I mean, John Delancey.
He's gonna show up.
He's like, yeah, I'm down.
Well, I mean, even if not this season, they already greenlit a season 2, so.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that they saw all the subscribers that came in for Picard. Like, oh yeah, we're getting this. Even if it's that week trial, we're gonna turn it down to 3 days.
Yeah,
I signed. No, it's still 7 days, so I signed up for it. So
yeah. Well, good for them. Yeah, I mean, it sounds interesting enough, as far as Star Trek.
It was fun to be back in the universe, though. I'm not gonna lie, but like I said, I just kind of was like, well, he's finally got his winery. What are we doing? I don't care about space. I care about Picard and his dream. Okay, that's what I care about.
His dream was never to be in the winery. That was the whole point. Why his brother was all mad.
He quit. He quit Starfleet because after the synthetics wiped out Mars, like. The Federation basically abandoned the Romulans. Remember, they're helping them after their son went nova. They just abandoned him. He goes, "This isn't Starfleet," and I guess he quit.
Okay, did they give a reason why the synthetics attacked Mars?
Not yet. Again,
we'll find out. That's the underlying mystery, probably. Of season
mystery.
Ooh. Oh, welcome to Shaggy. Back in Khan and the Ultra Humans.
God.
See, now that's going to be neat is when you find out that there's a secret base of Ultra Humans, from Botany Bay, and they're like, well, we can help you because if nothing, you may be inferior, but at least you are humans, and these robots, do not. I just hope they get an actual, I hope they get a Ricardo Montalban.
Some
British guy.
I don't know.
The ultimate human again.
Well, I don't know if they dropped a clue about the synthetics at the end of the episode because they showed Data's other daughter was working with some people at a reclamation site. Then they pull out at the end of the episode. The reclamation site was a Borg cube.
Okay. Well, and for what it's worth, Lord did hang out with the Borg and was trying to rid them of their organic parts.
Oh, yeah, they said the Borg are going to be completely different in this series because, 7 and 9 showing up. I think they said Hugh is showing up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know Hugh is showing up.
Oh, yeah, Jerry Ryan.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Ah, yes.
Oh,
the humanity.
Riker, Troy.
Love the actress, hate 7 of 9. Started the downfall of the Star Trek franchise.
How dare you?
Just saying. When you need a sexy suit to sell your show, I'm just saying.
Well,
it's a thing.
First off, all the suits are sexy. It's not her fault. She happens to fit in one.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry.
That had nothing to do.
Captain January's suit would not leave anything to the imagination.
It had nothing to do with the rib crushing corsets you wore under it either. Yeah, no.
I don't know about that. I'm just saying it's and that's her Borg parts, Phil. Still had to have some Borg parts after all. But yeah, I mean, for the kids. I've always felt 7 of 9 was a fun take on the hyperlogical traditional Star Trek character.
Heels.
And she was good. Although honestly, it's one of these things, like the more human you make her, then the less 7 of 9 she is, and then is she really even accomplishing what she's supposed to do anymore?
Oh, and it's been 20 some years since the end of Voyager too, so it's like she's had 20 some years to assimilate too.
Assimilation.
Get it?
Yeah, I get it.
Get it?
That's
Philip and his Star
humanity
Trek dad
gets you, man.
jokes.
You will be assimilated with root beer, as the Ferengi will say. Ah, it's so sweet and bubbly. You think, what could it hurt? And then suddenly you find you like it. Ugh, and that's how the Federation gets you. I want to know what the Ferengi are up to.
Yeah, I know. We didn't
We'll find out, I'm sure.
You know, that's the thing. It's like, why do they just leave the Ferengi doing nothing?
Oh, everyone's going to show up. I think they said Patrick Stewart invited Whoopi Goldberg to come back for season 2 as Guinan. So it's like, if you're Guinan, you're getting...
Yeah, but Guinan's obviously going to show up. You know, she's friends with him.
Yeah.
No, I mean, like, I want a story set on Ferenginar. See, that's the thing. Why do we always have to tell these human stories?
Write it, Charlie. Maybe CBS will access.
I know, I was gonna say write it.
They put the
you know, if they still took open submissions, I would be.
Philip, that is not nice.
What?
Them and Marvel used to take open submissions, and they don't anymore because
people can't do that anymore.
Yeah, too many people. But yeah, I mean, trust me, I want to. You know, maybe now since theoretically jobs are stabilizing, that aren't like horrible jobs. I may find myself with time enough to write again. That's the dream. But anyway, you know, between the cleaning and the writing and the drink, or the cleaning and the working and the drinking, finding time for writing is always hard.
But
it's hard to get a good solid 6 hours of drinking in a day. Let me tell you.
6 hours, that's nothing. Well, but yeah, I mean, I like Picard. I want to stick with it, but it's like I don't know if I want to pay for another service.
Yeah, well, I mean,
that is the grand question in these times that we face now.
Our modern problems, yes.
But you see, this is what I'm going to say about this, and why I'm going to go back to that Ferengi question. Why are you going back to this well when you could have told a completely new and different story?
Well, that's not what they did with the.
Well, they wanted to ban person. Everybody loves Picard.
But whereas Disney is taking risks, they're making a Mandalorian, you know, and yeah, you could throw in things that look a lot like stuff we've seen before, but you could set a completely new story in this universe outside of what we're used to, which is why the idea of a Ferengi shipping vessel,
but
instead of a Starfleet vessel, is a really interesting idea.
It is, but I mean, look at it. I mean, they put Discovery on, and a lot of us fanboys were like, behind a paywall, nah, it's okay. But the thing is,
Discovery is just Star Trek.
Yeah,
it's the exact same show. It's space soldiers in a spaceship shooting at space things.
We're in the end. We're in the age of nostalgia. Remember, we got to.
But the thing about what the Mandalorian did right is it's not nostalgia.
Yeah.
It rhymes with nostalgia. It's neuralgia, but it's not nostalgia. It's another mental disorder.
We have plenty of those here.
And the idea is that it's something that feels like it's familiar, but it's a completely new story and a completely new examination, and something we haven't driven into the ground. And if you did a story about Ferengi, I mean, you could do it about the Klingons, although I think the Klingons have been pretty well tread over the years too, you know. But you know, what are the blue ones?
What?
The blue people with the antlers.
Oh, from the original series?
Yeah, I mean, you could do a story with those people. Like, do a different group of people. Not these freaking humans, not these freaking human soldiers on their little colonial ship, you know, freaking spreading smallpox around.
All right, but do you think, okay, all right, nerds, be ready to at me and fight me. Do you think maybe it's because, like, Picard and these Star Trek characters are more beloved than, like, the Star Wars characters, like Luke Skywalker and that?
I mean, that's a sorry excuse.
Oh yeah, but I mean
that's the thing is that familiarity is the death of art.
I mean, they tried to do something new with Discovery. They weren't getting the.
They didn't do something new with Discovery. That's my point, Phil.
When they
didn't do something new with Discovery.
Season they did. They didn't have. They had all original characters.
but it's not. It's okay. Discovery is Voyager. Voyager is Deep Space Nine. Next Generation is the original series. They're all the same basic premise. Just here's a new cast in the exact same.
Well, I mean, Deep Space Nine is actually Deep Space Nine and Voyager are the most different out of all of them.
Yeah,
because the setting is different.
And I will agree with that. And that's where they should have gone. That's where they should have gone. They should have tried instead of dragging poor old. Yeah, and look, I mean, the man. I think he's got like 8 ex-wives and a real chicken wing addiction. I know Patrick Stewart needs the money. And so I get why he needs to do this.
Oh, wait a second. Is that a rumor? Is that true? What I saw that supposedly Marvel's talking to Patrick Stewart for Professor X again?
What Patrick Stewart has said, yeah, me and Feige talked. And Feige and him talked, and he was like, but the reality is, I just don't feel like that's a character I want to revisit because we really told a great last story. And it's basically kind of the same thing that, what's his name? Australian boy said. Huge Jackman.
That's what his wife calls him.
His Ackman is so huge. Yes, he's got a huge Ackman. But, they both said, look, we've done these characters for a very long time. We had a really great end cap for their stories. Yeah. And I don't want to revisit them, I mean, you'd sooner see Chris Evans or Robert Downey Jr.
Well, what is Patrick Stewart? They're still coming to him. McAvoy's like, I'm over here. Hello. Hi.
Yeah, and that's what McAvoy.
Thank you! Although Michael Fassbender, you're welcome to come back.
Maybe here's what I'll say. Maybe McAvoy can have a new character. No, I mean, who knows? They may go to McAvoy for it because New Mutants is apparently MCU, as they say, and yada yada yada. So, yeah, we'll see what choices they make. But yeah, I mean, I think I'm sure Feige talked to him because why wouldn't you? And that's the thing. If we were watching a show. And it's like this: when Leonard Nimoy shows up in a Star Trek movie, or like when Leonard Nimoy showed up on Next Generation, and was like, "Oh, this is so cool! It's such a nostalgia for me." And if we did a show where our heroes met Picard, that'd be cool. If we had a show where people met Q or AQ.
Well,
even,
I've seen theories too that it's like. Well, I don't think they're going to do this, but I mean, there's theories that like after like the first or second season, they could kill off Picard and then have this brand new crew he assembled do their thing or whatever.
But I don't want to see another.
Yeah, okay. I mean, they're not like
Trek.
Federation though, Charlie. They're just he's putting together like his own little.
They're Firefly, basically. They're browncoats.
So if he's doing space
they're not
pirates,
Federation.
I might be in for that. Okay, so they're going to do a space pirate show, and they're using Picard.
Yes.
See, that's what you lead with. You don't look. Here's Riker, and here's Marina Sirtis, and here's Data. You say Picard is leading a ragtag band of space pirates.
Yeah, because that's the whole thing. I think like all of them, Riker, Troy, they're coming in. They'll make like cameos and stuff. But yeah, I think it's mostly going to be Picard and this brand new crew. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, that might be interesting. But again,
no, I think they're trying to get the people in with, hey, look, it's Next Generation. But then it's like, oh, no, it's really not.
Yeah, but again, I think that's a bad marketing ploy because it's like, I've seen that. And again, it's like, okay, here's a paywall to see. It's like, we're going to charge you to see these characters that you've seen for years. But now it's like, remember those characters that used to run and jump and have crazy wild sex all the time? Now they're old. Yes, exactly. It's like fat Luke Skywalker. He comes in and it's like, I am not going
lightsaber take on the whole empire, the whole new order.
Yeah, well, no, it's like it's not where I'm at. And
Yeah, no.
Don't expect me to be there.
I think they're trying to get
You
people
know,
who are on the
that's the
fence.
thing.
They're like, I don't know, it's behind a paywall, but it's like, hey, remember, it's nostalgia. I'm telling you, it's the people on the fence. They're like, hey, remember this thing you loved as a kid? Yeah.
But this really drives home what Lilith always says about CBS.
For the old people.
What do you say about
It's for
CBS,
old people.
Lilith?
It's a comfort.
No.
It's comfort food for the soul.
Hey, old people
I
for the
know,
old
and
people.
it's like,
Yes, it's comfort food for the
I
soul,
know.
and that
And you know
some
what?
people like that. It's like watching a procedural. You don't have
But
to
the
watch
truth
week to
is-
week. It's for the character development.
I understand, but the fact of the matter is, between MeTV and every other channel out there,
But you still want a new
from
fresh face like
the
Mark
BBC
Harmon or whoever the hell else is on. I think that's the only person.
okay, that's you, Lilith. That's yeah. I'm more interested in Mark Maron. I'm more interested in Glow, a new story that's going to play with my nostalgia, but also take it in a new direction, in a way that I did not expect it to go. That does disrupt my history and let me see something new and interesting. Well, we might get to Kenobi and super connectivity unless Phil wants to talk about it
Just
now.
friendly reminder that Chilling Adventures of Sabrina season 3 is out. I'm only on episode 3 right now.
Yeah. Okay, yes, I just saw that it dropped today, and I have not gotten a chance to watch it. I'm looking forward to it, but
Seeing as how we're
we'll watch
46
it as soon
minutes
as
in
we're
already,
done.
you want to talk some comics real quick?
Sure, Philip.
Sure, pick a
How
comic.
dare you, though? What do you mean? All right.
Phil's Comics
First of all, this is
Corner.
Chilling Adventures of
Lilith,
Sabrina.
did you pick up Wonder Woman 750?
It's okay.
I remain unimpressed, but I'm glad they really did celebrate it. So I'm like, oh, maybe we can get her to 1,000 eventually.
I mean, there were some decent stories in there, but I don't know. It really didn't smack of an anniversary issue of me, just as like a big issue.
Not at all.
It was just
This
96
was.
pages.
I mean, they had all the variants. It was just a cash grab. It's like, throw some people on it. She's
And I
not
mean,
a priority. It's clear to me.
Yeah, it just seemed like, let's throw in some backup stories by some different creators, and it just like, it seemed.
Maybe those were auditions, to be fair, because y'all know how I feel about the current.
Some of them are people working in the business, but it just seemed like it was, compared to like Action Comics or Detective Comics 1000. Yeah, Wonder
Well,
Woman.
also this is 750 and not 1,000.
True. But I mean, it just seemed like more like paint by the numbers.
It was very paint by the numbers, and for $10,
Yeah.
$10, but it's
Well,
96 pages.
That's less than a penny a page. Or
But
no, it's more than a
also,
penny a
they were
page.
still dealing with Year of the Villain, and I'm just like,
Yeah, because the main story was wrapping up the current arc, and then there's a bunch of backups and.
Get that drivel out of my $10 book, damn it. That's what I say.
How long has
2
Year of the
years,
Villain
I
been going
think.
on? Because it seems like it's been more than a year.
I think it's going to be as long as Doomsday Clock at this point.
No, I think it's about a year because I think they're going to be wrapping it up in Justice League here soon. Because I think Snyder's almost done on Justice League.
Okay.
Sometime
It does feel like more than a year. I concur.
I think sometime in the next month or two. I think. Yeah, there's only.
This might be a Clone Saga. I don't know.
Oh.
But what's weird to me, it seems like DC's been doing like, oh, now the villains take over. For like the
It's
last
always dark.
4
It's
years.
gonna be dark now. Remember?
I guess so.
Which is
But
why there's no room for real Superman
I
and real
know.
Wonder Woman in this universe. You hit the nail on the head, Philip. Scream it! Right in the gooch.
But that's why we have a Bizarro.
I think that's a medical term. I'm not sure.
A gooch, yes. Gooch is a medical term.
You're gonna get us canceled. Stop. Oh, but I will tell you what book you should pick up if you didn't pick it up.
What?
Birds of Prey Giant #1. I enjoyed it.
Did you? It was
I actually did.
good.
It was well, it's Gail Simone, you know,
Okay.
and then the artwork by Anika Miranda was amazing.
But it's
the Harley Quinn story by Robert Venditti was actually pretty decent, but it wasn't like the movie at all. Like if the movie actually would have took from this, I think the movie probably would be better.
But they pared it down to a one shot now, right? Because that was going to be like an ongoing or something. And
Yeah, this is the one shot, and that's kind of a shame, honestly. If this was what they were actually gonna do,
no, but it's
instead of making it wasn't the Harley show. Like I feared, it really wasn't.
Well, again, maybe the orders weren't there because everyone was like, if you're going to do Birds of Prey, do Birds of Prey. Why do you got to throw Harley in there?
Yeah. That's pretty much.
I know, but again,
and nobody wants it except for Margot Robbie.
Same thing with the movie, and it's just like you want to do Birds of Prey, do Birds of Prey. If you want Harley with the group, give her Catwoman, give her Poison Ivy.
Yeah, why didn't they just
Gotham Sirens for the love of God? Gotham Sirens. And like Gotham almost did it actually.
But it's weird because they've already established a Gotham-averse in this universe. If they bring in a Ivy or a Catwoman, that doesn't disrupt anything.
You're bringing in a Catwoman in the Batman. Wait a while.
Because they haven't cast that Catwoman yet. So
what?
In the Batman, have they cast the Catwoman yet?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's Zoe Kravitz.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know, man.
That's what I'm saying.
This
place. All you need is an eye.
Andy Serkis is Alfred, if anybody cares.
I mean,
right?
I mean, yeah. I mean, you already know you already have your Margot Robbie Harley. Wait for the Batman to introduce Catwoman, and then introduce.
Well, yeah.
Look. Between us hens, Margot Robbie didn't want nobody outshining her. That's why everybody else, except for the exception of like Rosie Perez, which she's old.
Like Lucille Ball.
She didn't want any other young ingenues upstaging her. Like boom, there, I said it. At me if you want to. Yeah. That's what it is.
That's why I don't know anyone else's name besides Margot Robbie. Okay.
Yeah. Well,
yes, and that's why all the promos are of Harley.
She said Vivian Vance had to maintain her weight, and that's why she, stuck her with Frawley, which Vivian Vance hated. Vivian Vance hated working on that show. And years from now, we'll read the tell-alls from everyone else about how awful working with Robbie was. So there we go. It'll be like, oh, she is such a lady who is not nice to other people.
We'll see her next Tuesday. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I don't know. I get the feeling like they greenlit this entire Margot Robbie Harley thing on the success of Suicide Squad, and
no, it's their fascination with Margot Robbie. Like, honest to God, that's what it is. She had to sit down. She's like, I really like Birds of Prey, but I feel like Harley should be in it. They're like, that could work. Let's keep Margot Robbie happy.
But what I'm saying is, I don't think.
Hello, Megan.
I don't think people. Here's what I'm going to say. There's some actors who make a character shine, and there's some characters who make an actor shine. And I really feel like
And I don't think it was either the case for either.
Wow, that's a whole other bag of hammers. But I'm going to say I think Harley is a better character than Margot Robbie is an actor.
Contraire, mon frere. You need to see her in I, Tonya, and that will totally change it. Like, I love her as an actor. I just don't love her as Harley Quinn.
Okay.
Just don't. But watch I, Tonya if you ever get a moment. Like, yes.
Like I said, I got to get in that solid 6 hours of drinking every day. That's my workout. And
recast Kaylee Cuoco as Harley Quinn. Make it so.
That's good.
No, her and her wet hair can stay over on the animated show. Oh, look, I'm an OG Charmed fan, and she just like ruined the last season. Like, this is why it took so long for me to warm up to Big Bang. Like, it's a whole thing.
I'm telling you, they need to cast Mayim Bialik as Harley.
Bazinga.
Or as Harley. Actually, that will be awesome in the cartoon. If she gets hit on the head with a coconut at some point, and suddenly Mayim Bialik starts voicing her as Harleen, that will be so perfect. And having the dual personalities of Dr. Harleen Quinn and Harley Quinn with the two different characters doing the two different voices, it'll be just like Moon Knight. It'll be awesome.
Look at them ideas. They already want to be Deadpool.
That's a brilliant idea.
I know. Write it up.
Hey, Charlie.
Yes.
Did you know Wonder Twins number 11 was out?
No, I'm sorry. I'm very far behind on everything. Remember, for a couple
That's okay. Just a friendly reminder. No worries.
Was it good?
Yeah, I know. I like Wonder Twins. I should read Wonder Twins. I like the entire Wonder line of comics, actually. They're all really cool.
Yes, and that's a Bendis thing too. It is pretty good though, I will say.
No, well, it's, I mean, I kind of feel like it is a really nice way to tell kind of young people's stories in a, I don't want to call it an Archie style, but I feel like there's this brightness and this lightness to it that really, shines through. And, in its own way, it's kind of like what Ms. Marvel was when she first started, where it was very much just a Spider-Man story, but it was like a teenage superhero dealing with teenage issues, but also a person who was very positive and was raised right and believed in goodness. And I like those things. I like stories about people that do good when they gain superpowers because what else would you do?
Yeah.
I was doing good before this. I might as well keep on doing good.
Yeah, modern comics is like, oh, somebody killed my parents or something. I have to be,
Well, not necessarily modern comics, but yeah.
I mean, back in the day, Barry Allen had parents alive while he was the Flash.
Oh, okay. I'm looking at Batman, so I guess Batman. So what happened with him?
I'm not saying.
Well,
I'm not saying
murder everybody's parents.
I'm not saying that there wasn't any character who ever did that, but now it seems like all of them. They have, you have to lose like one parent.
Yeah. Although again, I guess so did Peter Parker. So.
Oh, he lost. He lost two parents and an uncle.
Yeah. Two parents and an uncle. Yeah. May's still going strong.
Damn deals with Mephisto.
No, she just got some of that super soldier serum back in the 40s,
No.
Her and Al go way back. Definitely.
Super soldier serum. Is that what we're calling it?
Yeah, they used to put that stuff in Pep, People don't know that. That old Pep Cola you can't buy it anymore because it was laced with super soldier.
Charlie! Instead of cocaine in the old Coca-Cola, man, they were putting super soldier serum in the Marvel universe.
There you go, Yojo Cola.
Yeah!
Used to have just a slight amount of super soldier serum in it.
I can't stress this enough. A slight amount.
Write it, Charlie. Write it.
Just a pinch of super soldier serum. Give you the vim and vigor you need to face the day.
My kids want to be like Captain America. Oh, good lord.
Yeah, Tristan says it was the super soldier serum that made Pepsi blue.
Crystal Pepsi.
It was an amazingly light week on the Marvel side for me.
Mm-hmm.
Really light.
Yeah, I was gonna say most of my books were DC.
I got 2.
Did anybody read Atlantis Attacks, or do you guys want to say
that?
I did not read it, but Charlie read it. I know.
Yes, I love this book. Good night,
Tristan. I'm very interested.
Yeah. First of all, I'm not.
Well, obviously, Amadeus Cho is in it, so I'm just like, yes. And then they're doing the whole thing with King Namor. I'm just like, and Jimmy Woo, like, what? Like, this book, like, surprised me.
Imperious Rex.
First off, you got the original agents. Thank you.
Yes!
Our 1950s Avengers people, including the Living Robot and Venus.
Is Marvel
who first crossed swords with Loki back in issue 3.
Is Marvel Boy there?
Yeah, there's Marvel Boy right there.
Ah.
Son of Uranus, the original defender of the universe.
Grow up, Philip.
And Nomura, proof that Namor is not a mutant, because we all look like this, Namor. You're not special. You're not a mutant. We all have wings on our feet. We all are beautiful and can breathe air and water at the same time.
You're beautiful.
Also, we got Triathlon, also now known as the new 3D Man.
Oh.
Yes. He's like the one new guy because the actual old 3D man did die.
Yeah, because they did play that with that in that Kurt Busiek Avengers. That what didn't he get his powers the same way as the old 3D man or something? Or
I'm not quite sure how he got, because he was originally called Triathlon. And he did have the idea of the power of 3 people.
I'm trying to remember. He had something with it similar to.
Well, yeah. Well, he always had a similar costume.
Yeah.
But then he met the original 3D man, and they gave him the goggles, and that's how he could see through the scrolls during Secret Invasion.
Mm-hmm.
And then he adopted the name 3D Man. So yeah, and that was back when actually when Jimmy Woo was old, and then he got de-aged, and now we got Jimmy Woo.
As you do.
As you do. Got Jimmy Woo in the Marvel, and I'm waiting for them to do something neat with Jimmy Woo in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Because I felt he's been wasted, but he also could be doing that bumbling FBI agent shtick. Close-up magic, And just waiting for him to, just at the end, well, actually, have you met my crew? Just waiting for that in the next Ant-Man film.
Hey, are you all caught up on Rick and Morty?
The
new season? One? No, I mean the first 5 episodes.
Oh, yeah.
Of that new season. You son of a bitch, I'm in.
Yeah.
that was this book for me.
Yeah. I liked what was the one about the toilet? That was my favorite one.
Oh yeah. That was a good one.
Yeah.
I like the dragon one though. That's been my favorite one so far, but
that was just
the toy one's pretty good.
That was just too much sex stuff. Okay.
It was like Dan Harmon's shot at Game of Thrones, and I was just so here for it.
Yeah. What I liked about the toilet one is when he pulls the prank on himself, knowing it's going to trigger him, and it is just him berating himself in the most obvious way. It's I hate myself, and this is what I do to myself because of it. Because I really hate being me. Which, not for nothing, the amount of vanity it takes to be depressed about being the smartest man in the universe.
Tell us.
It's I'm so depressed because I'm the smartest man in the universe and I can't connect with anybody. Well, have you, tried?
The answer's yes. Maybe, possibly.
I'm trying to figure out.
If you're Doofus Rick, they all hate Doofus Rick because Doofus Rick was the guy who said, "Yeah, I'm the smartest man in the universe, but so what? I can still connect with people. I can create interdimensional travel. Sure, fine. I can do all that, but I can also be with people and talk to people
and hang out with Jerry.
Exactly. I mean, he's a doofus, but whatever. It's he's fine. Just because he's not as smart as me doesn't make him cannon fodder, Exactly. And this idea that I have to be superior to everybody because I'm smart. And it's the problem about being the smartest man in the universe is exactly what they said in his memory when he was talking about teleportation. Which is, what the problem is with discovering teleportation? All you find out is that you're the last person to discover teleportation. And without that, Rick's problem is that he's waiting to find out he's just the last guy to do this. He was just the dumbest guy to be the smartest guy in the universe. And that's coming. Because he's going to meet Cthulhu or something. Cthulhu's going to be like, oh, yeah, you cute little carbon life form. You think you're pretty impressive. Maybe someday. They keep on teasing Cthulhu, but
Phil, I think you would really like Atlantis Attacks. It's a miniseries. It's not ongoing, so
I might give it a shot.
You should look into it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It was much better than I thought it was going to be as a nostalgia cash grab. Primarily because it did something different.
Yeah.
It did something that, because first of it uses that nostalgia vibe to say, hey, maybe we should read Agents of Atlas. I still don't know.
You should, by the way.
Yes, I should. I still don't know how
the character development in that is phenomenal. I think you'll really enjoy it.
Yeah, I still don't know how I feel about the city of Pan, though. It just seems weird that
It is weird, but that's it's a choice. It's a deliberate choice to be weird, I thought.
Yeah, and it is kind of like weird to me, the idea of just like, you know, I don't know, man. Here's what I'll say. If you made a city that was like, and here's where all the white people can come, it would be a very controversial book. Or even if here's a city where all the black people can come, it would be a very controversial book for other reasons, you know? And it's like when I don't know. And then again, it's like you're going to cross into, you know, South Asia into that. And it's like, well, okay, but then why not bring in Mongolians into the whole thing? I don't know. It's all a little weird to me, the city of Pan in general. I like that we do have refugees in Pan from Madripoor, because there are awful places to be. And it's like, no, we want to just leave. We would rather stay here. And that it's just like a rich person's vacation is just weird to me. We created another dimension for people to come and surf and eat Chinese food. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about the city of Pan. That's my basic point.
Oh, hey, did everybody read Amazing Spider-Man 38?
No, I did not get to it. I was reading my alternate comics.
Lilith, I know you read it.
Yeah.
What did you think of Jonah?
What are we doing? I don't like it.
Do you think they're like trying to figure out what to do with him, especially now that he knows Peter's Spider-Man?
Yeah, it's like just give him the Norman Osborn treatment. Give him some amnesia. Make us think he's dead and he's really in the Swiss Alps for 5 years. I think his character has come to a close.
I don't know. He should just marry Aunt May. There, I said it.
Sacrilege!
Hey, not for nothing, he's a lot closer to Aunt May's age than his father was. That was some freaking pedophile stuff with Aunt May marrying J. Jonah Jameson Sr.
So how old was he? 1 million? Because Aunt May in Spring Chicken.
She's at least 1,000.
Are you going to try and tell me that, like, oh, J. Jonah Jameson and Peter Parker are contemporaries?
No. And again, the J, she's never going to date Jonah because, again, she was married to the father. You know,
I know.
He's going to marry the woman his dad was married to.
I don't know.
Well, you know, Otto's out there. Let's put that out there. Otto's still out there.
He's gonna jump into if that happens, he's gonna jump into that body like it ain't nothing, huh?
Oh gosh, I recognize Peter, of course. Yeah. But,
wow.
So what is J. Jonah Jameson doing in this issue?
Well,
being J. Jonah Jameson, sabotaging everything.
Well, no, Nora Winters brings him into like, in the beginning she brings him in. What is it? Like he's working at, is this a website? It's basically like a website.
Yeah, I know he's on like.
It's TMZ. It's TMZ.
TNM. And they're basically like, you know, oh, we love what, you know, you invented this genre, you know, with your Spider-Man threat or menace stuff. And he's like, what's up? He's like, but Spider-Man's not a menace anymore.
Yeah. And not the first time he changed his mind about Spider-Man. So,
oh, he's like, Spider-Man's under my tutelage now.
Yeah. No, he's kind of a Milburn Drysdale kind of character. You know, I don't know.
All right.
Yeah, I don't like it. It's time for Jonah to go goodbye for a while. Let me forget this has happened.
He's getting amnesia. So eventually he's getting amnesia. You know he is.
All you need, you know, honestly, really, all they actually need to do with him is just have him reconnect with his roots as a journalist. Let him do.
There's no such thing as journalism anymore. It's 2020. What's wrong with you? It's all podcasts and Twitter feeds and Instagram stories and snaps. That's what this world is, Charlie.
And he needs to do a what's Dan Rather doing? He needs to do whatever it is Dan Rather's doing. News and guts. That's what
Hanging on to life.
Being glad to be alive. What?
No, Ken Rather is doing. He has a news site. It's called News and Guts.
I thought you meant Larry King.
No, not Larry King. Larry King is just on.
Wait, he's still
Larry
alive?
King does infomercials and ex-wives. That's what he does, or new wives. Well, he does ex-wives too. And he's got several ex-wives and several new ones. He's a collector, you know. I recognize, of course. The guy's got money enough to collect. What can you say? You got the money, you collect things.
Like wives.
Some people like comic books. Other people like wives. I don't know. You can be serious about your pants. Oh yeah, I don't. Honestly, I find wife collecting far too expensive. That just does not look like a hobby for me. You know.
All right. Any other books? Anyone wants to talk about?
Oh yeah,
And they had
John
another show
Constantine,
to do,
Hellblazer
so.
number 3 is out.
Oh yes, I got it. You wanker.
You did?
Yes, wanker. I've been kidding.
I love this one. Like, why couldn't this just be the book? Why did DC have to mess with it so much?
I don't know.
This is just like,
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like they kicked it in the gear because, like, the first two, I was almost afraid it seemed like it was a little too slow. But actually, like, this one seemed like it was like.
but if you remember, old Constantine was kind of slow.
Yeah.
Rated in his. I don't know.
Well, and in his original 300 issue series, I mean, he actually like aged in real time, didn't he?
Yeah,
Then they knew
that was
52 him
the
up.
cool thing.
Yeah.
Everybody's got to be 25 and in their prime. Hashtag deal with it.
Well, that's just weird to age in real time if you're a comic book character. Because
And that was edgy and new
Unless
and
he's, like,
fun
aging
and, you know, an
faster than
F you
everyone
to
else.
convention.
well, no, it's actually because the whole here's the thing. As Stan Lee once said, you realize that between the 2 months between two issues, like literally 5 minutes might have passed. So you can't really apply appropriate time to comic book issues because presumably there's time you don't see and then there's time you do see. And also it's ridiculous to say, oh, well, this character is going to age at a normal rate, but then everyone else is just not.
Well, in his Vertigo series, he's kind of off in his own pocket corner
Yeah.
universe. Like, superheroes really weren't interacting with him then, so.
But
Until that
unless he's
damn
in an
crisis.
actual another dimension,
What?
it doesn't really make sense.
Well, I always thought too that they were going to reveal that was like a consequence of like some magic or some crap.
Well,
they were
yeah,
gonna
that's the
explain
thing. If
away
he's going to be
eventually.
aging rapidly because of magic, usually it's the opposite. It's like because of magic, you stay alive. You know.
Well, he does
How
some
the ancient
dodgy
ones-
dark magic, and that always has a cost. So you know
Yeah, he-
that that's a little Rumpelstiltskin-esque or whatever.
I mean, he made demons go to
But yeah,
war
I
for his life.
enjoyed it.
All right. Any other books? Throw them out.
Nope. Let's go. I know you guys got stuff to do.
Yeah, like I said, I got a whole other show to do, Philip. So
Okay.
we can do FF and Serpent War there, and some alternate comics.
Yes. And talk those John Walker pictures.
Yeah, Philip.
Jonathan Walker,
Yes.
he's coming for you.
That's agent's coming. Shut up, Will. Anyway, yes.
I got some theories on him too.
I'm sure you
I
do.
don't think he's as much the bad guy as you think.
So, yes. Send your thoughts, people, because send them on TV, movies, comics. In, 2 weeks, we're going to cover Birds of Prey? Lilith?
Are we? Okay.
I mean,
You don't have to, Charlie.
You
You
don't
can
have
be
to.
excused.
No, it's okay. I have to go to the theater for that, right?
Yeah. for the
Yeah.
I mean, hey, if you can't make it, I'm sure me and Lilith are going to
No,
see it.
no,
I bet you Tyler's going to see it, even though he doesn't want to. So,
In 2 weeks, I'll get paid again, so it's fine.
okay. All right. So,
Hashtag I can relate.
I'll listen to you, Miss Moneybags. All right, everyone. Send your thoughts to capesandlunatics@gmail.com. Call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And follow the Capes and Lunatics and all of our other fine shows all over social media. Find all those links in one convenient package at Linktree. That's linktr.ee/capesandlunatics. And support the sponsors: Tweaked Audio, Hunt a Killer, Pod Life the book, now in digital and audio. I mean, not audio, digital.
Digital and paper.
Yes.
Paper, the thing that you're holding.
I know it's so odd to have a real physical object, isn't it, Philip?
Not for me, for you, maybe. It should. It might. Hey, one day.
I have books. Books are like one of the physical things that I always have. That's like a thing.
It might be audio one day. Keep that under your hat. But and when you go to buy,
Charlie has to narrate.
Well, I think Rob wanted everyone to narrate their own chapter.
Oh,
That
fancy.
But I don't know anything about that because
I'm not a fancy man.
Anyway, so yes, and when you go to buy the book, use the Southgate Media Group link for Amazon.com for when you do your shopping. Send some money to the company that bring you such fine products as the Capes and Lunatics podcast. All right.
In full stream ahead.
Arr!
Arg me, matey.
Him and Moz were docking the other week. I don't know. I don't ask questions.
We're doing what?
You said that the Moz about docking.
That's what boats do, Philip.
I know.
I know you're not a seafarer. I can tell because you don't have a scraggly beard like me. When you're off at the sea with no women folk, you don't shave.
And you dock. Yeah, I know.
You dock with wherever you can find a port. Let me tell you.
Run, Moz, run! Anyway, Queen of Florida, Liv Hellfire. Where can people find you?
If you nerds want to hang out with me on Twitter, Hellfire, and on Instagram at Lil Hellfire69. Out of the gooch.
My new favorite
That
stuff.
is a medical term.
That is a medical term.
Yeah, we're gonna have to add that, definitely.
Capes by the pint. All right. Anyway, Charlie Esser, where can people find you?
Well, if you'd like to write to me in that old-fashioned email way, the way we did on those big, broad ships that stirred our hearts in the 70s, I don't know. Do so at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, at gmail.com. And of course, follow me on the Twitter as I live tweet things like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which is coming back, they promise. At Charlie Esser, that's CHARLIE. Yes, SCR. Look for the two E's in the middle.
For quality.
Bing.
Thank you, Maz.
Thank you, Moz. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us for another week. And we have been the Capes.
Epicend.
Lunatics!
You ate a crow out of that bottle, Will.
Yeah. I am
Oh,
sober, Philip.
Wow. Oh, that's right. You're going on a cleanse or whatever.
Well, that's good for her. I need to do that. I'm just afraid I will get mocked mercilessly if I do.
Well, you're going to do it for Lent, aren't you?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to try.
You've done it before.
I've done it before. Doesn't mean I can do it again. So,
I believe in you.
yeah, I know.
Everyone. Everyone clap your hands. For Charlie Esser subscribe. Come back next time, you hear?
All right, boys, have fun.